Why can some people file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and other people cannot? I mean, it is the preferable type of bankruptcy. The other type of bankruptcy is very painful. It's called a Chapter 13. So what do you have to do in order to file a 7? There's really two things that the bankruptcy lawyer like myself is going to look at. First and foremost, we need to determine if your household passes the means test based on your state's numbers. Let me give you an example. I'm a lawyer in the state of Ohio, and these are Ohio's numbers for the means test. So when I first meet with a client, the first things I'm trying to do is figure out how many people are in the household. Husband, wife, 2 kids, that's 4 people in the household. So I had to look to number 4. That household cannot make more than $110,000. But how's that calculated? That's where people get tripped up. These numbers are calculated using a 6-month look back, which means we take all the income your household has earned in the last 6 months, we add it together, and we multiply it by 2. And this is important because I talk about timing a lot. It's not done from a yearly average. So if you're a seasonal employee and you make the bulk of your money in the summertime, you're not going to want to file kind of at the end of the summer, because looking backwards 6 months is going to have all your big numbers in it and not your small unemployment numbers from the winter time, right? So first thing is making sure that your household is under the limit for your state's numbers. And these are different everywhere in every state. This is Northern Ohio's numbers. You know where I got these? Through the link in my own bio, which takes you to Ascend Finance, where you can run what-if scenarios to find the numbers for your state. This is only analysis number 1, though. Let's keep talking. Just because you pass the means test doesn't mean you're going to necessarily want to file a Chapter 7, because now we have to do analysis number 2. We got to figure out how much your stuff is worth and whether or not it's protected. Because a Chapter 7 bankruptcy is actually called a liquidation, meaning the court takes the stuff you own, they liquidate it, and then turn around and give the cash to your creditors. In exchange, you walk away from the debt. But the reality is most people don't lose anything, because most people's states have exemptions that cover most of the things that they generally need or have. Let me give you another example from here in Ohio. My state's exemptions say you can have $145,000 in a house, $4,000 in a car, a $1,300 wild card, etc. You can keep going through the list here. But what does $145,000 in a house mean in the state of Ohio? Well, that's equity. That's the value of your house minus what you owe on the mortgage. And the number left over is equity. We have to do that with your cars. We have to do that with your business entities. We have to do that with lawsuits that you have the right to file against other people. We have to do that with everything you own. And the problem is those numbers vary wildly from state to state. For example, in Indiana, the exemption for a house is only $19,000, if I remember correctly. But in the state of Texas, the exemption in a house is unlimited. You have like a $10 million house. So $145,000 in Ohio, $20,000 in Indiana, unlimited millions of dollars in Texas. You can see how the bankruptcy laws play out differently in different regions of the United States. You add on to that the differences that every jurisdiction has within their own court community. They have their own rules, right? So you have wildly different applications of basic bankruptcy law around the United States. And that's why, again, I'm going to plug for my bio here. We have links that take you to bankruptcy calculators where you can plug in your state, your income, your assets. You can figure out if they're going to be safe if you live in Wyoming. And that's why you got to kind of do a little bit of work to understand how it fits into what your finances are and whether or not it's going to help you. Local bankruptcy lawyers know your jurisdiction, they know the rules in your state, they know how this is going to play out most of the time. That's why I really urge you to talk to them. I have a video on the 3 reasons why people would file a Chapter 13. Go watch that one next. It was done last week, so it's not too far back. And then you can get an understanding of how this stuff starts to play together. Good luck.